Dang.
And we're live now on One Decent Pastor.
All right.
Morning.
Having some riveting banter before the broadcast
I think
started.
we should revisit every bit of it.
I think we nailed it.
We were just talking about old man problems,
I think we
basically.
should edit it before we revisit it.
We should edit what we already heard, even though the camera wasn't doing. We all know what we're not going to do, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
So thank you, Brad. It's already been worth
Just
it.
here to serve you.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, bro. Brad,
Introduce Brad
you do
for
it.
us, David.
You do it.
I'm pulling up my notes, so
Chat
I'm slightly distracted. At the
Brent,
moment.
So we got Brad Duncan with us today, pastor at Redeemer Church in Redmond, a guy that people kept telling us, and I think kept telling you, that you guys got to meet each other. You guys are going to hit it off, and we finally met each other maybe last October, I think, for the first time, and so we've been kind of working on trying to get you over here so we could meet you and get to know you. And
Bob Black had met you. This dude named Bob Black that goes to our church met you somewhere, and he came up just super excited the next time he saw us, and he was like, "Oh, there's this dude that's just like you guys." And you guys it's like, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
well, there's other weird people out there we found, and
right.
when we
Exactly.
find them, we like to meet them and hang out. So
Well, it's much better than, hey, you got to avoid this guy. If he comes around, just stay away.
Yep.
Yeah.
we get those too, but this wasn't one of those. So
I think we are those guys sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well,
by the way, my daughter-in-law thanked us last week for she said thank you so much for getting Terry close to the mic.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
So, well, I was rebuked about it last week, but it only lasted 1 week, as you can tell.
Well, you can just keep pulling.
You're
it.
reclining
I'm okay.
you're reclining
I'm
a
okay.
table
All right.
in a biblical way. You need to sit up.
You can recline. Just keep.
All right.
Yeah. Right
How's
up.
that?
Good.
Good.
I also have in-laws that go to your church, and they love it. They dig it. So, yeah. So I guess you're an all right guy.
Well, listen, just keep spreading the lies, man.
We'll see how you do today.
How long have you been at Redeemer now?
1 year and 1 month.
Okay.
Yep. So still new-ish. The honeymoon's over, and so now it's hard work. I'm having a blast. I really am.
That's
probably
cool.
the most fun that I've had and doing ministry.
It's awesome.
Honestly, and so
Wow.
yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
How many churches have you pastored at? How many does this make?
Yeah, well, there we go. I planted a church in Albany.
Okay.
And then, probably honestly to set it up, probably just got to give you the bullet.
Yeah,
points.
give
go
it
for
to
it.
us.
Yeah, do
Give
it.
to us.
So, got married in '92. I youth pastored in Salem at a church. You guys remember Jesus Northwest? That big music festival.
Yeah.
I was a veteran of Jesus Northwest back in the day.
There we go.
Oh man, I got stories.
The church that put that on was People's
Church, yeah.
and I was the youth pastor there.
Oh, cool.
And was really into music, played, in bands all through high school, college. Started playing in a band, and we made the leap, and we moved to Nashville. And so,
Dude, you got to say the name of the
Rebecca
band.
St. James.
Rebecca St.
Oh,
James.
okay,
Yeah,
never
she
mind.
was the main gig. There's a lot of other people I played. Like,
Was she from Oregon, Rebecca St. James?
no, she's from
Okay.
Australia.
Okay.
Just a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, played with Beck for about 10 years, something like that. 9
Guitar?
years. Yeah, lead guitar.
I heard you're a great guitar player, but don't ask him to sing. That's what I was told.
More like yodeling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you want me to come in and lead worship with yodeling,
It has its
I can do
place.
that. That's so
has its
funny.
place.
Telling you what I've heard.
And a number of other people, like some of my the music that I love, like played with 1,000 Foot Crutch. Now we're starting to talk about.
Dude, I used to listen to the Crutch
Yeah,
back in the
I was into
day.
them.
We're TFK. We rock the party.
Dang.
That's awesome.
I knew Nashville was going to be a season, and my heart was always in Oregon. And so the church that I started going to and was really plugged into was a church plant from Little Rock. Robert Lewis, if you guys remember him at all, Raising a Modern Day Night, men's fraternity, that type of stuff. Anyway, and I'm like, at that point, I'm so naive. I'm like, hold it, you can do this? You can plant churches? Which started something in my heart of coming home someday and planting a church.
It's awesome.
Came off the road with Rebecca. My manager said, "What do you want to do right now?" I'd started doing a church planting residency, and he sent me back out on the road with a band just mentoring them, which was Cutlass, a bunch of organ guys. So I did like 5 tours as their speaker on their tour.
I saw them
road
at Jesus
pastor.
Northwest.
There
Well,
they go.
I think Lauren Anderson used to have them in Central Oregon
Yeah,
from
they're
time
all,
to
they're
time.
they're all.
Yeah.
Some of them were from Medford.
Yeah,
Some
he
of them-
brought them here when
Kyle's
he
a friend
first
of mine.
planted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know them all.
Yeah.
So during that, every time I started coming through Oregon on tour, I would have people come up and say, "Hey, Brad, have you ever considered planting a church in Oregon?" I'm like, that's interesting. Why do you say that? And just started compiling a list. And over a period of time, I had a list of 50 people, over 50 people that just come to me. And I'm like, hey, God, I think you're up to something. So we moved out in 2008. We planted the Shift. We had no money. We had nothing. I was speaking full-time at festivals and conferences, and so I'm like, okay, we can do that to kind of, pay the bills.
Where were you guys meeting? Like what kind of
Oh my goodness!
facility?
Under a tree in the park.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because we had no money.
Yeah,
We
so
had nothing.
so umbrellas. Umbrellas, dude.
The
Yeah.
fall came, and some other people found out what we were doing, and they offered up a school.
Yeah.
And that sounds impressive. It was a pole barn with 2 classrooms and 2 toilets,
Interesting.
and that was it.
That's all you needed.
There we go. Yeah.
Perfect.
So we
Sounds like a
planted
church plant.
this church called the Shift. Our tagline was a church for people who hate church at that time. Just going over the. We started on a Sunday night.
Sounds very Dorish. Okay.
We
Well, it
started,
used
yeah. I told you. I think we need to talk. I think there's some kindred spirits here. Planted on a Sunday night because we figured the people we're going after were too hungover to go to church on a Sunday morning, and Sunday night blew up.
Yep.
And we added a Sunday morning, and we added another Sunday morning, and we added another campus. And God was so gracious. The things that we needed money to buy, God never gave us the money. He gave us the things we needed
that's
to buy.
cool.
Wow.
He gave us the chairs. He
That's
gave us
awesome.
the video stuff, the
Nice.
sound system, all that. And so it was also just, it wasn't church transfer. It was people
Nice.
who had been unplugged from the church, for disenfranchised from the church,
Right
or
on.
had no clue who Jesus
Very
was.
good.
So loved that. In 2009, we were able to move into a bigger facilities with our primary campus. And the night before our first service there, I created this huge graphic. And it said, "Welcome to chapter 2." I'm like, yes, this is going to be awesome. And I'm out at the church making sure, the night before the chairs are straight, and everything's working. And I sat down and I'm looking at this graphic, and God speaks to my heart. Now, we're about, what are we at? Probably 10, 11 years into this now.
Okay.
Love this church, man. God's so faithful. And I sit down in a chair and I look at it, and almost audibly God says, "Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to write you out of the story in chapter 2. I'm like, God, no, you're not, right? Like that's the initial. I wanted to stay there till they kicked me off the pulpit. Then I'd just be a
Right.
greeter, and then I'd die there. And
Does he talk to you clearly like that often?
Okay,
or-
this was a season. Now listen, it's going to get crazy. This was a season, but it was almost audibly. And so, I was resistant because I love this church and sacrificed. And
Sure.
I mean, that's another part of the story there, the sacrifice. But I was convinced, and I went to our elders and I said, "Guys, God's told me He's going to write me out of the story in chapter 2. I don't know what that looks like." I'm thinking, okay, 12 years for the first chapter. Maybe I get 10 years for the second chapter. But how's this going to play out? I don't know. I'm going to be resistant. I know that. Fast forward a year. It's 2020. My wife needs to go in for a routine surgery. Supposed to be in and out the same day. And the night before, same voice speaks to me and said, "This isn't going to go good." And so it's now COVID. I drop her off at the hospital. I can't stay. You can't go in the hospital. Right. I go home, supposed to get a call around 10. I don't get a call till 1:30 from the doctor. And the doctor said, "Well, there's been some complications." And I'm thinking, I'm not surprised. I'm hearing from God, right? Which is shocking me. She's going to have to stay in the hospital this week. And so I was able to get in to see her that week, and I won't get into all the details, but I mean, we're talking blood transfusions, and Saturday came, and without her hitting a single benchmark, they released her to come home. And on Sunday night,
Oh, man.
in the kitchen floor, she dies in my arms.
Dang.
So the church gave me 6 months off.
Yep.
Get your house in order.
Yeah.
Love your kids. My daughter was 19. My son was 14. How do you even tell your kids?
Yeah.
And after 6 months, I came back to the church. And I'm like, "Oh, God, that's how you're going to do it."
Yeah.
And he had written me out. I tried coming back, but I was done. And yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need both of those. Thank you.
Oh, well,
I had to flash.
Second line.
So
I got a little wet too.
anyway, during that season, I thought I was completely done with ministry. I was also a regional director for a church planting network and serving Oregon and Washington and Idaho. And so when I resigned at that church, because it was so clear I was done, I thought what I'd probably be doing was, and they'd been talking to me about doing that full time and serving the network. I thought that's what I was going to do. Yeah. And so I resigned, and the network came back and said, actually, we're going to shuffle the deck. And they removed me from my position there as well. And so in a short season of time, I lost my wife. I know it's semantics, but I lost my ministry.
Right. Yeah.
I lost my role in serving. I love serving other pastors, and my role in that. I lost that. By the way, it would just be a couple months later that the neighbor's house would catch my house on fire.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
You don't want my story.
Wow.
I'm just telling you.
That's what. Can I?
Yeah.
How was your relationship with the Lord through all this?
Yeah. So when my wife, I was able to revive her and got her to the ER, but it was too late. Yeah. And before I even walked out of the ER, I stopped in the waiting room and I said, God, I will not curse you and die. But you and I are going to have a conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or a few.
Yeah. And I just told him the truth. Like, I am going to be angry with you over this in stronger terminology.
Yep.
And I think God's big enough to handle it.
Sure,
those
he can handle it.
conversations. Yeah, once, I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of 10-Man Ministry, Chip Dodd, Voice of the Heart, Jeff Schulte, any of that type of stuff, which just kind of talks about like how God created us feelings beings. And how do we process the emotions of our heart in a way where we're not led astray, but also tell the truth?
Yep.
And so in that, it was like, God, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Like, I am so angry with you right now. Would you set in this anger with me? Mm-hmm. And anger essentially does this. It just tells you something's broken. Sure. That's all it does. And so, God, there's something so broken in my life. Will you set in this anger with me? God, I'm so lonely. Would you set in this with me? Yeah. So during that next week, I didn't know what to do, so I would just walk. I walked over 300 miles that next week. And God spoke to me again. Same voice. And he said, Brad, you're going to be stronger than you ever were before. You're going to be more effective in ministry, and you're going to thrive. So he told me that, okay, I don't even know what that means, God. I'm just lonely right now. I'm just trying to figure out how to pay the bills. I'm just working on those things. Go back to the church. It's clear my time's done. And now I'm thinking I'm done in ministry, 100%. Like, I'm putting my application in at Lowe's Distribution, any place, because you guys know this ministry's so connected to the heart.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I'm trying to give my heart away, but there's just nothing there to
give.
Yeah,
if they're not connected, something's wrong to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So either I'm just a blubbering idiot up there, right? Or it's just like, I don't know, So during that season, my beard was literally touching my belly button.
I was hoping we could talk about the beard at some point today.
Yeah.
So you got ultra wise.
I pulled a Rip Van Winkle when I did.
That's awesome.
So I went in to get my beard trimmed, and the lady trimming my beard, I actually knew her from high school. She was born on the mission field. She was born in the Philippines and then spent her formative years in Tonga. And she started trimming my beard. And after a few trims, I'm leaving getting trimmed the salon, and I'm like, hold it, time out. And I called up one of my counselors, a guy in Salem named Dr. Mannock, and I said, Dr. Mannock, I need to see you right now. And he's like, okay, Brad, why are you in danger of self-harm? I'm like,
you're like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I am.
Speaking,
When have I
well
not
spoken.
been? Yeah. I said to him, I said, no. I said, it's a woman. He's like, I'll see you tomorrow. So I went and met with him, and I just said, Dr. Mannock, is this okay? I'm actually having feelings for her. Is that okay? After being married 28 years, is like, what does this look like? So he began to coach me through like what that looked like. I had a group of 5 other pastors been coaching me through what dating even looked like again. And on Thanksgiving of 21, Thanksgiving morning, on the beach in Hawaii, I got remarried.
Wow.
And God just began redeeming something in my life. And that was my prayer the whole time through. God,
He does that.
Can you redeem my life? Can you redeem it? In fact, I'll go back. I missed one piece. So after I'm having these feelings, I'm driving over to Redmond because she lives in Redmond, works in Albany, and worked there for years. And the same voice speaks to me again and said, here's what's going to happen. You're going to give her your heart. This is early on, and she's going to give you hers. I'm like, wow. So we get married, and during that time, I'm still thinking I'm done in ministry. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay.
What were you doing at this point for work?
Nothing.
Okay.
I had a severance package, and it was just about at the end. In fact, I was in my last month of it. Yeah. And I'm putting my application in everywhere. Like, I drive a truck, just a delivery truck, just somewhere I can be on my own, right? And isolated away from people, you know? I don't know. And Lauren Anderson calls me from TFAB and said, hey, I understand you're moving to Redmond. I could use some help. You want to come help me out at TFAB? And I'm like, okay.
So you guys knew each other through Acts 29?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And so I came over, started working at TFAB. I was there for 2 years. I don't know what I did. I don't think, honestly, I gave the church much. I think the church gave me so much. Yeah. What it was 2 years of just a safe place for me to continue to heal, a safe place for Heather and I to establish the foundation of our marriage and figure out who we are.
Is supposed to do.
Yeah, to figure out who we are and what ministry together is going to look like. And then in June of, what would that be, 24? I was let go from there just due to financial reasons, and it didn't make sense. 2 lead pastor types at the church didn't make sense.
Hang on a second.
Okay, listen. Okay, for that scenario, like the shift, your model in the shift is identical.
Okay,
we did the same thing, and the shift was awesome.
How is the shift right now?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to
that. Okay, good. I want to make sure we're not.
I'm trying to get to how things are at Redeemers.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick because there's a cool comment in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't think I told you that we're on YouTube live right now. So.
No, well,
anyway,
people are going to see this.
People are going to see this.
I thought this was a quiet.
So Amber Williams, who we don't know.
I know Amber. Hi, Amber.
Anyway, sounds like she's got a couple connections of some other people that we know.
She went to the shift.
So she said Brad is one of the most kind, loving, and authentic people you will ever meet. Charlie and I love you, Brad.
Oh, man.
We are discovering that right now.
We're learning that right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Amber.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, what happened was what I did was during that season and this is cool because I went into a season of silence.
No.
Like God's speaking so loud to me, like scary loud, and then a season of silence. What happened was just before I was let go from TFAB, I was invited to go back out and play guitar for Rebecca St.
Wow.
James again.
Is she still out playing?
Not a ton.
Okay.
We're really close still.
Okay, cool.
But she did a cruise to Alaska.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
So you were like, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Cruise ship? All right.
Yeah. And it was so much fun. It was a throwback to we did radio tours together back in the day. So it was just me on the guitar and her.
That's rad. That's super cool.
And her family, and it's just great. And then getting to meet Heather and just a connection. It was beautiful, so redemptive. But on that cruise, God told me, same voice. All of a sudden, it pops up like,
you're freaking me out now, bro.
Told me a change is coming.
Yeah.
I think God's speaking to me again. Heather and I, we drive home, and the whole time we're talking about what is that. 2 days later, I'm let go. And I'm like, scary, but this is awesome. God's speaking to me. And then all of a sudden the phone just started ringing, and all through that summer and that fall, every single Sunday, I just started preaching at different churches. Hey, Brad, I hear you're available. Can you come preach this Sunday? And then during that season, there's another part with Redeemers where, man, I love Brett Anderson.
Yeah.
Brett Anderson.
Dude, Brett's rad. Lauren's rad too.
Yeah,
but Brett's pretty rad. Yeah.
But anybody that would sacrifice, to plant a church and put their heart and their soul into a community, loving a community, I got so much respect for. The reality was, when I was at TFAB, there started to be conversations between Brett and Lauren about me potentially taking Redeemers. What had happened is COVID had hit Redeemers.
Yeah.
And Brett got punched in the gut.
Sure.
And never fully recovered. Think about when you're punched in the gut. You lose you can't breathe.
Yeah.
And I think for Brett, that became a good example of what happened for the next season of his life.
Sorry, but the irony's not lost on you that the name of the church that you go to.
Yeah.
Where I'm going with you got it. That's it. That's
sorry.
the whole lead up.
You just stole his
did I steal
thunder,
it?
bro.
You
Keep
got
going,
it.
dude.
Punchline.
Apparently, I'm
just
not
like-
that clever.
No, dude, this is. I mean, I'm just seeing it. It's like
This is what I was trying to get to by you've got to understand my story to get to Redeemers.
Yeah.
God, will you redeem my life? God, will you redeem my life? And the very first day that I'm at Redeemers, I'm like, just all of a sudden it hits me. And I'm just in tears. And like, how ironic that I now get to pastor a church. Thank you. We're just going to hold on to this. Pastor a church called Redeemers.
yeah,
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
it's amazing.
It's a great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So when you were before you ended up at Redeemers, when you were kind of floating around,
Yeah.
filling pulpits,
Yeah.
was a lot of it testimony? Your story?
No,
okay.
no,
Okay.
no. None of it.
Okay,
was.
okay.
I'm an expository teacher,
Yep.
and so I just
Praise
jump
God
in.
for
Hey,
that.
where you at? And in the series, and let me jump in. The worst though was I preached in Reno. There was a network of churches down there that I loved. That we were actually discussing moving to Reno and being a part of that. They're going through Revelation, and so. They said, okay, come down. We want you to preach at one of our churches. And then they sent me the text, and I called them back, and I'm like, I think you got this wrong. Is Revelation 10:11? Like that one verse is just weird. You want me to unpack? I mean, I can unpack one verse. It's just a weird one. They're like, no, Revelation chapters 10
Yeah.
and
Oh,
11 in one sermon. And I'm like, are you crazy?
So you shot a man in Reno.
By the way, my
Just
son's
to
middle
watch
name
him
is
die.
Cash.
There
we go.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
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 Nice.
Dude, we just like you more and more. The longer you're here.
Yeah.
So that's the whole lead up. And so God's been so gracious. I think, the reality is Redeemers has gone through a lot. We're in a season of healing, and last year God really significantly began to turn the corner in the healing. In some ways, I would say it's a kind of a replant scenario. And I think that when I first planted in Albany, man, I was scared spitless. I had a calling and no experience, right? And so I overcompensated with work. I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to work harder. And
Are you not a seminary guy?
I did go to seminary.
Okay.
Well, no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Bible school, I was supposed to be up at Western like last year.
Yeah.
And so I'm still working on
Okay.
trying to get that up there.
Gotcha.
I've done some other seminary stuff organically. But anyway, but still, like the practical, tangible stuff, like what should I be doing? So now that I'm a little bit older now, and I've kind of done it before, like there's a little bit now like, okay, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like God is sovereign, and God's going to just keep leaning and pressing in on what he's up to and what he's doing, and he loves his bride.
Yep.
We're going to be okay.
Yep.
So
It's awesome.
for
Not to,
sharing all
not
that,
to
man.
not to tell tales outside of school, but is Brett doing well these days?
Yes, he
Good,
is.
good.
He's in a
Praise
great
God.
place of healing. He's down in Medford right now, in a great place of healing. Yeah.
Cool.
He came back and he did Celebration of Life at Redeemers a couple months ago, and I just sat in the back and I just smiled. And afterwards, I told him, I said, Brett, you are not done in ministry. You
Yeah.
are not done. This is just a time of you catching your breath.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Back in the day, I was once upon a time was a chimney guy, and when they moved out to Redmond, him and his family, they had that cool little farmhouse, and I would go clean the pellet stove every year, and I would just look forward to it because it was just always a good time hanging out with Brett. He's a good dude to be around.
Can you imagine Brett not smiling?
No.
Every time I see,
No.
just smiling, just
Yeah,
smiling. you
no,
know?
he's
I
he
think,
was
I think
great.
when he cries, he's smiling.
It might be true. I mean, you know him better than me, but yeah. All right, Chad, are you running this thing or what?
Sure. So,
All right.
so your kids are how old now?
Yeah.
In the house, out of the house?
Okay, so we're a blended family. My daughter's 25, and my son is 19 now.
Okay.
My daughter lives in Albany, just got married. Lives in Albany. My son lives in Eugene right now. He just moved down there, but he's working in Albany. He's still just trying to figure out who he is, and there's still, I think, pray for my son and my daughter. I think there's still some major trust issues with God with their story. It's painful, but I think that they're working through that. And pray for my heart, because it's important that every son or daughter at some point has to make a transition where they're not riding your coattails,
Right.
and they own their own faith.
Yep.
And man, that's hard in my shoes. I'm like, just grab on the
We've
coattail.
all been there.
right? Yeah. And so I'm struggling with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
dude.
so, but I got to see them last night, and they're doing well. And then Ian is 12. Is that right? No, he's 13. He just had a birthday. And Ian and Chloe are my new son and daughter. Yeah. Ian is a superhero. He's on the spectrum, autistic, brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely. Usually he's inspiring. He's so much fun. Love that boy. And then Chloe is 10, and she's a firecracker. She's got so much energy. That's awesome. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's part of, I think, what God does in His redemption is these hard things that we go through. They make us better pastors. Yeah. They help us like relate to people.
There's redemption in your story, but then it sounds like there's a whole story on Heather's end.
Yep.
Redemption in her story.
At some point, her story needs to be told because there's so much brokenness and pain in her story, but yet she's an inspiration. Man, she has a ferocious faith. Man, it's inspiring. And so I am.
She has to. She's married to a pastor.
Yeah. She has to share you.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, cool. Well, let's talk about Redeemer for a moment. What did you walk into there, and what like things are good now? It sounds like what's that kind of transition been over the last year and a half, whatever it's been?
Yeah. So. What had happened prior to me arriving, I had been preaching periodically at Redeemers, and just kind of developing a relationship, and Brett kept saying, hey, at some point, I'm going to be gone, just really would love for you to be here, and so just kind of serving him and serving the church. And so, but during that season, at one point, their last elder had stepped down. And so by default, myself and Lauren, we became elders, from TFAB. When that was announced at Redeemers, some of the men at Redeemers are like, this is unacceptable. Yeah.
So those two churches were not actually connected then? Because I know that one kind of came out of the other.
Yeah, so Redeemers was planted out of TFAB.
Yeah.
And so.
But it was autonomous?
It totally autonomous.
Okay.
Yep. And never, at one point, TFAB was 829, now One Gospel, but Redeemers was never affiliated with any kind of network or anything like that, and so completely independent. So I was part of the process. Brett asked me to help just kind of lead the elders through their candidacy process, and so I was kind of there when they installed the elders. But up to that point, again, and I'm cautious. I don't want it to come across derogatory, but there really was no infrastructure in place, mission statement, vision statement, budget. Any kind of plan, like significant plan for discipleship or equipping or anything like that. And so, last year
sounds like the door.
So last year was a year of working with elders, and we put together a vision statement. We put together a mission statement. We put together core values. Clarity. Here's where we're going. Now everything's going to be built out towards that. Started to develop team leadership for ministries, and then really my heart is equipping. And so we have an equipping center that we did a soft launch for last fall. And so these are ongoing classes that range from everything from some of them on one side in the future will actually serve our community. Nice. Like, here's some life skills stuff. Awesome. You want to get a job, here's how you write a resume, On the other side, like our equipping center class that's coming up is how do you study the Bible? And what are those tools, and what are some of the rules for studying the Bible and applying Scripture and some of that. I'm trying to think of what all we did in the past. We did a marriage enrichment conference last fall, and anyway, a lot of theological stuff coming up. I even got a preaching cohort that I'm doing this year and teaching young men how to preach.
Nice. How's your elder team right now?
Good. We're going to be in a season because of our bylaws in transition. So the bylaws are this year 2 elders have to step down for a year. Okay. We've got a couple other people we're looking at to step into that role, and so they will come back. Yes, and
term-based or whatever.
Yeah. So, but it was a hard push for the elders. And the second thing is, I push hard. Constantly go. Okay. And so I may have got them a little tired.
Yeah. So, that's okay.
Yeah.
Keep up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had to kind of start with elders at ground level.
Yeah.
So what did you use to kind of bring them up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember. That was all Brett, and he had kind of a curriculum that he used. It was good. Yeah, I've had a number of. I would love to hear from you and even in other churches on what you do use, because even in Albany, we a little bit here and a little bit there.
Right.
So like that is.
Yeah, it's hard to reinvent the wheel when there's so many good resources already out there.
Yeah.
So you just kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, we're just now getting into that again, or for the first time, really. We had the realization that we aren't the young guys we thought we were, and we better start doing something different, or the next generation's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, I'm 56, and so I'm right now at Redeemers. I'm already planning my exit. I don't know how long I have. I hope I got a good run there. I really do. But there's
Until God talks to you again.
I know exactly. La la la.
Might be tomorrow.
I will not make another thing saying "Welcome to Chapter 3."
Yeah.
No, there's no
lesson learned on that one.
Awesome. But just how we setting up the next generation.
Yep. Yeah, well, and again, a lot of the systems we're churning out pastors are not, and then you've just got people that probably aren't as interested in this line of work.
Yeah.
Not that it's a line of work, but there was a time I think when it was maybe more appealing, and so we're if we don't start doing something within our own churches right now, we're kind of missing something important. So
and I think collaboration is so important. I really want to learn from you guys because we're all going to be facing this. So how are we addressing this together? What can we learn?
Well, we don't know what we're doing either, so that's part of the reason why we network with
I'm
as many
so
people
happy
as we
to look
can.
at somebody and say, I don't know.
No, I mean, we've learned some things the hard way over the years, and we've learned, what not to do and stuff like that. But there's nothing more valuable than just networking, surrounding yourself with a bunch of dudes that have been there, done that, and we're just gleaning off, totally. We're locking arms in this thing. So,
Yeah. Well, talk for a minute maybe about, what are some of your distinctives of Redeemer? Maybe your mission statement. What makes you guys you?
Yeah. We're still defining what that is.
Sure.
What makes us us. So I'll talk through vision, mission statement, core values, and then I'm going to talk through some philosophy stuff. So vision statements, where are we going? That's how we define it. Here's where we're going. We're going to love people. No.
Yeah, don't love people. Don't love people.
I looked at your website yesterday.
What's it say?
Do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up, dude. I just blew it, man. It's
super
huge
simple.
letters on the side.
Yeah.
What is it? Love God, love people, follow Jesus.
Something like that was what I saw on your website.
So it's very basic and very general, but it's connecting theology to flesh and bone, to people, right? Okay, so we're going to love God, we're going to love people, follow Jesus. That's what it is. Love God, love people, follow Jesus. And following Jesus will define how we love people.
Right.
Dude, are you in the school?
No.
Oh, it's a cool looking building, bro.
It is cool.
It's kind of cool.
I wish we had your space, though. I mean, we're out of space already.
Yeah, sure.
There it is. Love God, love people, follow Jesus. So let's just tell the truth. That term love has been hijacked in our culture.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to go back and we need to theologically define what love is and what love isn't. So how are we going to do that? Well, here's how we're going to do it. That's where we're going. We're going to do this is we're going to teach the Bible. We're going to apply the Bible, and we're going to give grace. The grace comes into the secondary issues. And so primary issues, we have to agree on the primary issues.
Right.
Secondary issues, we're going to give some grace. One of the uniquenesses about Redeemer's Church is it's not a non-denominational church. Because kind of the history, there was never any kind of theological strong statements made there. Instead of it being a non-denominational church, it's a multi-denominational church.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So I'm still working and navigating some of these landmines.
We do the same thing, like with us, or like what are you? And it's like, well, we're one part Lutheran, one part Presbyterian, you know what I mean? It's kind of like we're multi.
I always say I grew up a theological mutt. My dad worked for the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, so we moved from fish hatchery to fish hatchery around the state. So we always went to the church with the strongest youth group. So I grew up going to the Nazarene church, the Quaker church, the Baptist church. Assembly of God is actually where I really met Jesus. So people ask me, like, where you at theologically? And I just say, I'm a reformed charismatic.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
You're a junk drawer, dude.
I am.
So you're an Oregon boy? Me too.
Yeah, I'm all over Oregon. Yeah. Was born in Lebanon. Lived at the fish hatchery in Scio, went to the fish hatchery in Enterprise, went to a fish hatchery outside of Astoria, back to a fish hatchery in Scio.
So this will mean something to you and probably not, maybe you. Are you an Oregon? No, you're not an Oregon guy. So this will mean something. Super Smile winner right here. You know that ring a bell?
Yes, yeah. No way.
Yeah, way.
Wow.
Ramblin'
The
Rod.
big Ramblin' Rod. I was trying
Ramblin'
to
Rod.
Oh,
didn't you get a button for that or
Yeah.
something like that?
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what the heck you
You were
guys
on
are talking
Ramblin'
about
Rod?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a super smile.
can talk about-
and my sister was a birthday guest.
Okay, well, we were in Salem when he was running big.
Okay.
Back
Yeah.
in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
Didn't they
So-
film in Vancouver?
Portland.
Oh, it wasn't
Yeah.
Portland.
I can talk about famous potatoes. That's what I got. Idaho
Anyway,
boy.
sorry to digress. That would have meant something to me.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Well, it
took me
meant
a minute,
something to
but
me.
Yeah. Anyway,
watch
keep
it.
going about Redeemer.
So that's kind of now core values. Truth. We define truth as the Bible, right? Community, family. Community's kind of been ripped off again, so maybe we might change that one to family. Missional living. We want to serve our community. I'm really working right now. Like, we want to have influence in our community. Anytime the community comes out, we want to have a gospel presence in that. So we're working this year on everything from, we shut down Main Street for Halloween, candy. We've got a Redmond night out with the police and fire department, have thousands of people come out to this thing, concert. Everybody's going to come to Redmond for the Deschutes County Fair.
Sure.
So we're working on, like, how can we jump in and have a gospel presence
how do
in
you
that?
capitalize on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the same time, we just want to serve our community with no strings attached.
Sure, for sure.
It's good.
And so we're trying to figure out what that looks like.
Well, it looks
And
at being just intentional instead
Yeah.
of having a huge event.
Yeah, it's
Like, let's just go out and be what we should be.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Let's go to those places.
So as needs
Yeah.
arise, we're just saying, okay, here's a need. So we've got everything from people have been donating vehicles to serve other people. That's
cool.
We just did a Love Redmond kind of project of over our Advent series. It culminated with an offering. Over $15,000 was given to this so we could have some resources to serve our
Nice.
community, which ties into another one of our core values, which is generosity.
Yeah.
And so we're
Local missions or
yeah,
generosity.
There we go.
Yeah.
We just
yeah.
wanna,
Benevolence.
Yeah, exactly. And so we see
Yep.
one of the evidence of the early church when God's moving, man, they were generous people.
Yeah, they were.
And so, man, we want to be generous to that truth community. Worship is the fifth one, and our worship's our lifestyle. It's not a song I sing. And so it's the things that I do and my motivation.
I was gonna ask you.
Gospel coaching behind that. Yeah.
Are you not only preaching sermons, but also producing the music every week? Because, bro, you have a pedigree.
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, I do. That's an area we need to work on.
I'd go to your church just because of that.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
okay. Right now, we have a deficit
Okay.
of musicians and worship leaders.
Yeah.
We've got some people who are just now stepping up, which is awesome.
Cool.
But it's we're also have been in a season of transition where there's some people who have left the church, and some of those were musicians.
Yeah.
And so the problem for me is I when I first planted in Albany, I led worship, and then I would teach.
Yeah.
And it became what I called the Brad show. And I don't want the Brad show.
That's
Too much
why I
Brad
asked.
is a bad
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then the other thing, too, is it's a different side of the brain.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
I'm up here
dude.
leading worship, and then I go to teach. And it takes 10 minutes before, like, the brain clicks over to the other side. I'm like, oh, it's Jesus. That's the person I was thinking of, right? And so,
That's right.
Yeah. And I think that's all
This
the
year
stuff
we're-
we can get behind.
this year we're
mission,
really
vision,
going to be
values.
pushing and working on developing within the equipping center musicians and worship leaders and all that. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, maybe a couple kind of in the home stretch here. A couple questions. What's challenging about ministry, both in a general sense and specific to Redmond?
Yeah.
And then, what do you love about ministry, both in a general sense and Redmond? So first, what do you find challenging in general about ministry?
Challenging. Okay, the mask is coming off. What's challenging is my pride.
Boom.
Yeah.
Dang. You got that too?
So you heard Dan Dillard last Tuesday when they were talking about the lessons learned, and he was the second guy, the old guy.
I know.
And he was like, forget my congregants being the problem. I'm the problem.
That's it.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
That's it. I did not realize how prideful I had become in Albany. The success of that church, and it became a very influential and successful church, and I took way too much credit for it. My pride, and I'm just even my wife is a gift. She ain't gonna let that flare up. Like Heather's gonna like call it out, which is I need that.
You got one
And
of
so
those, huh?
that's so challenging for me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do.
Me too.
What a gift. That's challenging. Still, we are newlyweds. And so still trying to figure out balance of ministry and home life.
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic. I love studying. I love reading. I love meeting with people. I love the church. I love the bride of Christ. I love serving the church. And at times that is out of balance, and that comes before family. And thank goodness, like I'm in a totally different place now than I have been in the past. But it'll pop up every now and then. And so I just need to be very careful about some of that.
What about Redmond? Like, are there challenges that are kind of unique to the Redmond community, maybe?
Yeah. So yesterday I was at a One Gospel Network, we call them hub events, and so it's just kind of a morning event where we just talk about, there's some equipping, we get connected. It's a relational network, and so the topic yesterday was really exegeting your culture. Understanding your culture and then speaking that, based upon who your culture is, presenting the gospel in that context, contextualizing it. I did so much work of exegeting Albany, Oregon before I planted, connecting with people, meeting with the mayor. The mayor and I became really good friends over there, chief of police and all that. Tell me about our city, tell me about our community, all that. I felt so convicted. Here's a problem. I haven't done that work yet in Redmond. So part of the problem is what's unique about Redmond. I got some ideas, but I don't really know. Like I'm this next few months, I'm going to learn my community. Like I hit the ground running so hard and so fast that I'm connecting with people relationally, but I want to know our story.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't even know the story of Redmond. Why was it planned, or why did it start? Sure. And all that. So I'm going to work through some of that. I've got some ideas, but
so you've got some. You got to be a missiologist over there in Redmond.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. You already said some things, but like, what do you love about being a pastor?
Oh man, front row.
Yeah, I do.
I can sit on the front row and see life change.
Yeah.
Heart transformation, and people just fall deep in love with Jesus, and know that really it wasn't me. I'm not that smart. I'm not that annoying. I'm not that annoying. I don't know. It's the Spirit of God, right?
Yeah.
And so the front row is just my favorite part.
And then what don't you like about ministry? Front row.
Front row. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So rewinding, help us with, how did you get into ministry?
Yeah.
How did you? What did that look like? You said that you'd been in several churches before you got saved. Actually, at a AOG church, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Every Sunday got to be at church. Every Wednesday got to be at church.
This is your family.
This is my family.
Okay.
Yeah, you're sick. You're going to church. I remember my mom making a bed underneath the church pew,
dude. I've had those.
and giving me a garbage can to puke in, like you're going to church.
This is what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was in that house too.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. I hated it then, but I love it now that I was in that house. Sorry.
That's so funny. So somehow in moving around from church to church, I'd missed like the full picture of the gospel. And so now we're going to an AG church in Albany, Oregon. I'm way into music at this point. In high school, my dad played guitar, my brother played guitar. I just figured at some point Eddie Van Halen's going to die and somebody needs to take his spot. So 8 hours a day.
Eruption, here we go.
There we go. Yes, exactly. So, but with that, like, what's success? Well, Eddie says it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yeah. So that's the path I'm heading down to, even though I'm going to a Christian high school at this point. I'm sitting in church on a Sunday. I'm hungover from the night before. I'm a senior in high school, about ready to graduate. I'm sleeping in church. Hey.
It's all right.
Oh, sorry.
My Lego just took a dive.
Then there were two.
I'm sleeping in church, and I have this dream. I'm walking down the sidewalk in Aurora, Oregon. It's a hot summer day, and there's ice on the sidewalk for some reason, and I slip and I fall. And you know what happens in your dream when you're falling, right? You just like you jerk and you wake yourself up. So I wake up and everybody's around me laughing, and then I can't get back to sleep, and I'm so ticked off. So I start listening to the pastor, and the pastor starts talking about Jesus being more than your garbage man, coming around each week, just picking up your garbage. And I'm thinking, I thought it was just a prayer, man. Like I prayed the prayer this morning, like I'm hungover. Forgive me for my drunkenness last night, my carousing. Isn't that it? But he started teaching them on the Lordship, and that changed everything. And that's when I got the gospel.
How old were you?
I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think
awesome.
I just turned 18. And so from there, I graduated high school. I ended up doing a 1-year internship at that church. I knew instantly I was called to ministry. Up to that point, I thought I was going to be a cop or a rock star. I'd been a cadet at the Albany Police Department for 3 years. First Corporal Cadet Duncan.
Nice.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I nailed that.
First responder.
Did a 1-year internship at the church, 9 months serving in the church, lived in Mexico City for 3 months, came back, and I'm like, I'm called, and that was it. And so went to the local community college for 2 years. I was broke, got my basics out of the way. Lynn Benton Community College, and then from there transferred and went to Salem Bible College, which is no longer in existence.
Right.
And so, yeah. And then...
And you went to People's Church for a while.
Oh, yeah. So what happened was that church was First Assembly of God in Albany. I ended up coming on staff at that church. And then I went to People's Church in Salem as the youth pastor there for 2 years. And then off to Nashville. And then started going to Fellowship Bible in Nashville and was exposed to Reformed theology. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
And that was transformative. Yeah.
No, nice. 2 final questions. What advice would you give to somebody trying to grow a rad beard?
Be lazy, ignore it, and let it go. That's still I don't.
On a serious note, how can we pray for you, your family, your church?
Yeah. Balance. Just pray for balance for me. Part of that balance is family, work, finding out where they go. Part of that balance is my own heart. In just what am I responsible to do? What am I not responsible to do? And so I think that's the biggest thing. I just balance is my prayer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
What about for the church? How can we pray for the church?
Yeah, church. Man, how long do you have? I've never been a part of a church that is so kind, so welcoming. I guess I would say this primary thing is one of my favorite verses, man, he who began a good work will be faithful to complete it. God's begun a good work. And so I would just say, man, pray just for protection, you know. There's going to be birds that are going to come in and try to steal some seeds, you know. So just pray for some protection.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today. And I guess I had no idea about your story. Just thanks for sharing all that and just being real. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. One of you guys want to pray?
Yeah. Father, we're grateful that we get to do this thing called ministry and serve your churches, and we're grateful when we find other guys that kind of we click with. And so thank you for Brad. Thank you for him coming and just sharing his story with us today, Lord. It was encouraging to see the work that you're doing in him and the redemption, Lord, that you've given and are continuing to give, Lord, and even the church that he's a part of now. We're grateful for that, Lord. So just form a bond between us, Lord, and help us to find ways that we can encourage each other and spur each other on and bless each other's churches, Lord. We just do pray for, as he's asked, Lord, that you would help him to find that balance, Lord, of ministry and family, Lord, and get that right. We pray, Lord, that you would not only in him but in us too, Lord, kill our pride, Lord, kill that thing in us that makes us want to steal your glory and get in the way of what you're doing, Lord, and just make us better pastors, we pray. And we do pray for your blessing upon our churches, Lord, and just pray that you continue to grow them in all the right ways and give us more opportunity, Lord, to make sure that the community around here knows that there's a Savior named Jesus and that he loves them and that he's died for them, Lord. So give us more opportunity for that, we ask. And again, Lord, we need you desperately. So please, in power, come and use us, we ask, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Well,
Thanks for coming, Brad.
One final question.
Yeah.
How do people find you if they want to check out your church in Redmond, if we have some listeners? I should ask you that before.
RedeemersChurch.org, is the website. A new one being launched this week. We're, one street off the main drag, 224 Southwest 7th.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Check it out.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank
See ya.
you.